We always have a trouble with a lot of other lawyers, and they say this contract constantly. They say risk allocation. I'm saying, okay, risk allocation, okay, but what about risk management?
Yeah,
because if you just do risk allocation, it's just you're not reducing the risk. You need to do risk management.
Yeah.
So you need and risk allocation is traditional contract, right? Yeah. But risk allocation is what you're talking about. This is about the process. Risk management. This is about the process.
Exactly.
This is about identifying and mitigating the risk, rather than just saying, okay, the contractor has it, and the contractors say no.
Yeah.
That's because that we had a lot of contractor bankruptcies, and those that are left are much more risk averse, and those that weren't risk averse went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And you can ask any employer if they want a risk averse contractor that doesn't go bankrupt, or a contractor that takes risk and goes bankrupt, which project's going to be best?
Option number one, please. Thanks.
Yeah, right. But because bankruptcies, then you might have your securities, you might have your guarantee, and it's used in the first month. Yeah. Of you having to cope with a bankruptcy.
Exactly.
It's so I think that's also one key message for employers. It's always your project.
Yeah.
All of the risks in the project, you own them in the end.
In the end, you own them. Absolutely. You can transfer them. You can talk about risk sharing, and often it's I think risk is a transparent process. It's about putting it on the table, understanding the stakeholder group around the table at that moment in time, looking at the stakeholders and deciding together who should best manage that risk, because they're in the best position to manage that risk.
Exactly.
Because if risk is not managed, it's not mitigated.
Exactly.
And so risk transfers is useless without the mitigation and the management and the understanding of the capabilities in the team.
Exactly.
And maybe that's a big piece for our main topic of pharma here.
Exactly. And you come with another piece which we also see as an issue: transparency.
Yeah.
Because in order to share the risks, or in order to manage the risk properly, you need to share what they are.
Absolutely.
From an employer side, what are actual risks? You also need to identify them.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the front loading, and share your vision and budgets. I've seen that too much, where the employer only wants open books on the contractor side.
Yeah. A one way.
But if it only goes one way. Then it becomes, then it's askew, and then the contractor will try to hide what he can as well.
And we often find in that open book approach, it's a very popular term now in Denmark. It happens in the pharmaceutical, but it's a very popular term in Denmark. But it's the structure of the open book that is misunderstood. What does open book mean, and what level of granularity are you getting in your open book process? And do you have the capability on your client side to evaluate the open book information you're receiving? And often all of the answers to each of those questions is a no, we don't understand, and we don't really have a strategy for it. We're just saying open book.
And again, we also have to difference, because open book is a principle of communication.
Yeah.
And then there's a principle of pricing, which is a cost plus pricing.
Yeah.
And just when people say we just want an open book contract, okay, do you mean a cost plus?
Yeah.
Or do you mean that you have to share your information?
Yeah. Generally, it's communication.
Exactly.
There's very few projects in Denmark that are cost plus.
Exactly. But sometimes you end up with that because people confuse the two concepts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, I think the open book process, if managed correctly, offers more collaboration. Again, you need to have structure behind the open book information. Otherwise, it doesn't offer any value. For example, looking at a steel subcontractor price that is a single line of information is useless to you. Yes, it's open book, but it's useless to you as a client or anybody on the client side to evaluate the value, the quality, the inclusions, the exclusions of what that actually means for the project and what risks are associated with it. So I think that there's a big thing to do there in that commercial communication piece that you mentioned for clients. And I think that's where we can help, and where we're discussing with clients about how valuable it is to have good structured commercial information. Like even the risk piece, having good structured risk approach that's open and transparent about risk sharing rather than risk transfer. definitely there's areas that we can help there, for sure.